Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to be demonstrating what the random LFO is doing, and I'm going to be explaining it and demonstrating it visually. So this is the random LFO. I have it set up into the mod here so we can listen to it, because how else are we going to figure out its theory of operation? It doesn't really explain anything, like what's this, like what? So let's hop to it. So we're going to give it a play. And what it essentially is it's an LFO that you can change it from, triangle to square. Right? Not that special, but what's special is these guys here. This will give us the ability to make it noisier, give it some sample and hold, all sorts of stuff. So let's hop to that. Has two modes, or I guess not two modes, like a multiplier. We have it like a traditional kind of LFO, as in low frequency oscillator, and then we can go into the audio realm. I'll just leave it. All right, so we're in the audio realm now, and I'll just show you what that's doing. Right. Right. So we got a triangle here. So amp jitter. Amp jitter will kind of step and randomize the peaks. Right. We're adding jitter to the amplitude. So I'll demonstrate that. Oh, it's actually better demonstrated with the square wave. So with the square wave, the peaks will be the height when jitter is all the way down. The height is uniform. Very uniform. I will set that to trigger. No, wait. I'm pressing a shortcut key that I set up. Sorry. There we go. So jitter will vary the peak of the square, essentially. Right? And I'll just set that to flow so you can see. So this is, or what it can be at certain values and frequencies, is essentially a sample and hold. Turn off audio rate. Right? So you have a sample and hold now. Neat. Yay, sample and hold, super fun things. This is how you get sample and hold in Massive X. Now, amp jitter can also do some interesting things to the triangle wave here. It will vary the peak of the triangle. And if we go into the audio rate, and we increase the rate, what do we hear? We go all the way like 100%. Remember, there's no values for some reason. We get noise, right? Well, digital noise, but it's noise essentially, and that's pretty cool. And what makes it kind of cool is you can go to oscillator here, and it's key tracked, right? Nope, never mind. The heck's going on here? Oh, I have my keyboard solo. Give me a multiplier. Oh, there we go. Okay. Keyboard's all weird. You got like an 8-bit white noise here. Just as an example. So anyway, let's go back to free, and let's look at frequency jitter. So frequency jitter, the overall amplitude will stay the same, but the distance between the peaks will change, will be randomized. That's where I guess the random LFO got its name from. I'll give you a better example with the square wave. Let's get the rate up there. All right, so let's increase the frequency jitter. All right, so some are close together, some are far apart, duty cycles are all wacky. And, this kind of reminds me of like, what are those like radioactive material detectors, Geiger counters? It's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, or what it could behave like. Anyway, so that is the frequency jitter. So, threshold. Threshold does absolutely nothing because you need to have the amplifier jitter enabled, right? So the amplifier jitter will kind of truncate down those peaks that are below a certain threshold. And with this, you get a really kind of interesting result. And yeah, let's do that. Get more jitter going on. Actually, square wave's a better example. Right? So you have, all these ones were below this threshold. This one is above. Hooray. That's basically it, which gives you like this really interesting kind of sample and hold behavior. And you can get some really interesting kind of sound design movement out of this. And with this and, the frequency jitter, you just, do a bunch of cool stuff. Right? Different flavors on LFO, sample and hold with peak and stuff like that. Pretty cool. What else? Well, there's two modes. There's bidirectional and unidirectional. But unidirectional is useful for maybe something like, like a filter envelope or something like that, where it operates only on the top half of the duty cycle. Okay. Oh, I have it frozen. Sorry. Right. So it only occurs on the top, the positive, as opposed to the top and bottom. Delay gives you a control over the delay when you hit a key. Takes a while for it to occur, and then rise and fall. Right. So you can attach. It's like a really cool built-in envelope. Right. So you can have this kind of like pinging, and that's pretty fun. You can get really fast too. And this right here. So this is essentially what it does is it will. So say if we have this set to like random, or not random. If we have this modulated, I'm sorry, and we hit a key, right? With this off, it'll just kind of continue to move about. But if we hit this, it will kind of hold it for that note and that note only. I'll give you an example. Right? Actually, I'll hit audio noise here. All right, so I'll have it off, and I'll hit it. I'll hit a note, and I'll hold it. Right. If I hit this, it will actually stop. Right. So you can get even more of a an interesting modulation here. Let me just demonstrate that. And more ratage. Right? Right, it's being held, and I believe it holds polyphonically as well. Right, so you can get like, haunted toy box sounds. And yeah, that's very useful. Also, sync. This is for low frequency oscillator stuff. It's synced to your host, and you're like, why are these all 16ths? And I'm just like, oh yeah, you get to actually move that around and have these values, and then you can modulate this value as well, which is pretty cool. And oscillator, which is pitched, or sorry, which is mapped to the oscillator rate. So that's basically it. And why is it changing? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, let's wrap that up. This has been the random LFO, and yeah, what it is it's an adjustable sample and hold, plus a couple other things that are pretty neat. Really cool. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.